All right, looks like we've started streaming. Welcome everybody to Let's Do Art for Lunch with the Richmond Art Center crew. My name's Eileen. I work at the Richmond Art Center in the studio department. Today we're going to do Art for Lunch with Lauren Ari, leading us in a wonderful and brief creative exercise. You're going to feel so relaxed and energized, and creative juices are going to be flowing. And quickly want to mention to you all that for the activity today, you're going to need to have a Rolly ballpoint pen or a fluid pen handy and a piece of printer paper or a blank piece of paper if you want to participate to sketch on. And before we jump into that exercise with Lauren, we want to introduce our very special guest here in the Zoom. I just said his name earlier, but here he is, our new-ish Executive Director, José Rivera. And I just want to pass the mic here to José, and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself.
Thank you, Eileen. It's nice to be here. I guess this is the first broadcast over YouTube since I started here. And it's certainly been an interesting time. Before I start talking about myself, I want to acknowledge our wonderful RAC team members that made this possible, our wonderful instructors. And we also have a new special member of the RAC, which is Sarah Guerra. She is a fellow from the California Arts Council. She'll be working with us through December. And there were only 10 fellows chosen in the entire state of California. And we were able we're very lucky to get her to work with us through December. So a special shout out to Sarah, who has an incredible background in arts and culture and in the community. And my bio is in the website, so I'm not going to bore you with the little details. I will tell you that the first half of my career, I spent in technology and consulting, ended up in venture capital, and then ended up in venture philanthropy, where I got the nonprofit bug. And then the last 15 years, I've only been working with nonprofits, serving underserved communities, usually in education. This is my 30D job. Prior to this, I ran a foundation in the South Bay. And before that, I ran StageBridge, which is the oldest performing arts entity for older adults, where we had all sorts of intergenerational programs and theater and servicing the schools, some of them right here in Richmond. So I joined in June, which was an interesting time, as you could imagine. And it was also very scary because we were very close to potentially closing the RAC due to the lack of funds. As you can imagine, the amount of revenue that we have lost is in the hundreds of thousands. And when I came on board, we were losing $100,000 a month. Fortunately, and thanks to your generosity of all our supporters, our friends, our students, teachers, partners, we did great during the fall in our appeal. And we are, for the time being, we are in safe and calm sailing waters. And we'll see what happens as the opening starts rolling out. In the meantime, thanks to this incredible staff and some of the staff we had here in the past, we have developed new stuff that we never had before, such as on virtual classes, this type of event, and getting very creative in servicing the community. So kudos to them for making this happen. Not an easy task when you have 50% of your manpower. So a big appreciation goes to all of them. I'm getting a little note here. 26 people are watching on YouTube, so that's great. Anyway, I want to open it a little bit for questions, because I'm sure some of you have are wondering what's going to happen, what are we doing, what's, anything, or personal questions about me and my past, where I came from, what am I doing? So I'll leave it up to the monitor. I think it's Adela to cue me if you have any questions that you're posting online for me. And it's nice to be here with you. I hear the ticky, ticky, ticky of the keyboard. My favorite experience here at the RAC so far, I think I've been blessed with a great team that's very creative. They make it so easy on me. They make us look good. I mean, Eileen is a magician on her part-time, I think. Adela runs wonders with facilities. Petey also in facilities. Amy has taken on 3 jobs: grant writer, marketing, communications, everything you see on the website. I mean, it's just beautiful. And considering how difficult the environment is, I've never had a staff so good that made it so easy to succeed in very difficult times.
Jose. Hi, I'm Marva.
Oh, Marva, I've seen your videos.
Oh, you liked them?
I love your video. I want to have a TV show with you as the hostess.
Oh, good, good. I've learned a lot about computers. I helped people register who didn't know how to use computers. Isn't that funny? I'm glad to see you.
Thank you. It's nice to see you live. I enjoyed your art conversations here in the gallery some time ago, and I saw it and I was laughing so much. I said, we have to create a TV program for her with the city hall station.
Okay, I agree.
All right. Well, I'll talk to your agent.
Okay, I'm the agent.
Okay.
Jose, looks like we have another question from Lauren. Lauren, would you like me to ask the question for you? What is your vision for the rack, and how will you reach out to the community here in Richmond? Great question.
That's a great question. And that's one of the first things. I was interviewed by the East Bay Express. I think I had been here like 1 week. And one of the things that they asked me the same question. And I said, we have to look like the community we serve, and we have to get actively engaged with the community here. So this is not just a place for a select few to come and enjoy arts or exhibit or take classes. We have to take into account the people around us. And one of the things that we're doing, Latinos is the number one racial ethnicity component in the city of Richmond. And I came here, and after the RAC being around for, I don't know how many years, 80 years, there was no Spanish programming or bilingual programming. So we're already doing that. There was no intergenerational programming. We're already doing that. And we're connecting, even though the schools are closed, and it's really hard for us to engage with the art programs with the schools, obviously, but we are planning to ramp up for that. And right now we're looking at what is it that we can do during the pandemic to help the community. And I'll give you an example. Just happened this week. We are partnering with UCSF and UC Berkeley to run there is a research that's being done funded by the National Institute of Health, and it's to help Richmond families and kids with asthma. And they're going to be doing the study and the work here in our courtyard for 3 months. And this is where we're donating everything, helping them with the infrastructure, because, hey, that's one thing we can do during the shutdown that helps the community and helps the research, helps UC Berkeley, helps UCSF. So we're always looking to connecting, how can we help those around us? And then once we're reopened, we want to make sure that everything that we do in the arts and the classes, it takes into account, the people around us. And we want it to be more inclusive and more diverse.
Thank you so much.
And yes, I speak Spanish.
Awesome. Anybody else have any? Oh, there we go.
Jose, I have a question. It's Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Hi. I was just curious personally, do you have an art form, a medium that you enjoy working in? And I hope we get to see you in the halls.
Well, if you want for you to see me in the hall, you will have to bring a piano, because I'm a classical pianist. I'm horrible with paint and with my hands, except for music. I have an appreciation for art, but to create it, unless it's music that's already been composed, that's about it.
Well, I look forward to hearing you play Debussy.
Oh, there you say, Sweet Bergamasque. And I will at some point we'll have an event here. We have to rent a piano or something, so it would be fun. And one of the things we're looking at, by the way, is how do we utilize better the courtyard for now and for the future. And we have, to use it as a classroom space for events at night, a projection screen to project our movie under the stars, a little concession coffee shop so the students can linger and all that. So we are now sending all sorts of information to a number of architectural firms to do concept drawings to see how we can make it a community center where people will come, not just to take a class and leave, but to linger and talk and maybe see rotating art exhibits and all that. So we have been busy during the lockdown. It's a good time to do stuff. We also got a grant that will allow us to improve some of the things in our gallery infrastructure. Light fixtures that were kind of clunky, the walls, repainting, resurfacing, expanding. So a lot of work is happening behind the scenes now. So when we open, it's like, wow, this place looks like new. And hopefully that's what you'll say when you're back.
I look forward to the performance.
Oh, okay. I'm on the hook for that. Okay.
Thank you, Jose. I want to say thank you to everyone at the RAC for these wonderful classes that we've experienced online over this past year and throughout the pandemic. It's been a light point throughout the year, and I really appreciate it. And I want to recommend, I just want to say there are quite a number of art classes, painting, ceramics, screen printing, everything, and they welcome beginners, so you can join some of those too.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Jose, thank you so much. And thank you, students. The students are really what make the RAC whole. And the teaching artists are the heart and soul of this institution. And I'm really grateful for the work that our teaching artists have done, especially through this pandemic, to roll with us, and a lot of the staff that we are missing in this time. We wouldn't have been able to do this without them. And we want to just express our deepest gratitude to those folks. And I'm hoping that we find ourselves again together at the end of all of this. If you have any other questions for us or Jose out there in streaming land, please feel free to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. You can message us at the admin@therac.org email. We'll be happy to hear from you. And thank you again, Jose, for being able to field some questions. I'm really looking forward to getting into this art activity with Lauren. Lauren, are you ready to go?
Yes, I am. I just my heart feels so happy after hearing all the vision that you all have for the Art Center. I'm very excited to be able to go back. So thank you for all that inspiration. So I have been teaching throughout this pandemic, and I have to say it's been a lifeline for me as a teacher. Each week I'm so grateful to connect to all the students. It's been wonderful. And I just went back to teach at the Michelle Obama School. And today was my first day out in the field, and I can't say how much I've missed it. And I taught kindergarten. And I have to say that was quite an experience on Zoom. So, yeah, so I think this will be a little different for me now. So I just invite you in this moment to be open and to just allow yourself to have this experience with me and to enjoy art making with absolutely no judgment and just curiosity and play. So I like to usually start my class with just a little body-centered exercise. If you'd like to do that, fine. If you don't want to, that's fine too. You're welcome to do all or nothing at all. So I invite you to bring your hands together and to rub them for 3 breaths. And just notice that you're sitting and that your body is relaxed and that you're breathing. So 3 breaths. Then gently take your hands and palm them over your eyes. 3 breaths. And relax your shoulders. Now take your hands and brush up over your head, off your neck. And one more time, 3 breaths. Relax your jaw. Let your shoulders go down. Palm your eyes. 3 breaths. Brush your hands off your jaw. And this is your last time. 3 breaths. Let this be the only thing that you're doing right now. And this time, brush off the back of your head, off your neck, and then just cross your hands, cross your chest, and just give a little bit of pressure, just like a hug, your own hug to yourself. And take a breath. And then you can gently let your hands just come down to your thighs, the side of your body. And just take a moment. That's something you can do throughout your day when you're feeling a little stressed and you want to come back to yourself. I know it helps me. So what I'm going to offer now is we're going to do everything much more quickly than we would in my regular class. So just know that this is a lot faster. We're going to do an inward spiral. And so what I mean by that is you're going to have your Rolly Writer pen or your ballpoint pen. And I've already started mine. So this is my spiral. And what I do when I create my spiral is I start in the middle of my page. And I want to have a very, very relaxed hand. And I want to make sure that I'm not gripping my shoulders, that I can feel myself breathing. And I'm going to start my circle, my spiral in the middle, and I'm going to work my way out. And you want to just try not to have any of the lines touching, and you want to try to have one continuous movement. And usually we do this for quite a while, but I'm going to set the timer and we'll do this for about 5 minutes. There's no right or wrong way. However your spiral comes out is perfect. It's unique to you in this moment. So you can go ahead and I'm going to set the timer and we'll all create a spiral, your own inward spiral. So go ahead.
Jose, we had a question in YouTube. If you play Claire de Lune, you respond that?
Yeah, I responded. It's I used to because it's part of Sweet Bergamasque by Debussy. So I'm rusty now. So I would have to play before the performance here at the inauguration gala.
Thank you.
So allow your jaw to relax. I know I start to focus a lot and I'll get a really tight jaw. Drop your shoulders. You can loosen your grip and your spiral might even just kind of get a little wobbly, and that's okay. We just spend a lot of, I should say my experience, that's why I teach this, is that I do a lot of holding. And so this is part of that practice for me of just trying to make a little space. And this is a great thing to do before I do my other drawing practices, or even if you're going to play the piano, right? This would be a great exercise to do. So your aim is to keep those lines as close as you can to each other while being relaxed. Remember to breathe. Maybe let this be the only thing that you are doing right now. Right, so you have about 1 minute left. No rush. Okay. Just take your last roundabout. And then what's really fun, if you're willing, is to, I like to do this. We hold our paper up with our faces peeking out on the side so we can see everybody else's spiral. And what you'll see that's so amazing is that how varied they are, depending on this moment that we're in right here. And many of the students in my classes, we do them over and over again. That's our first exercise. And we just remark on how different they can be. And also what they remind us of: fingerprints, tree trunks, snowflakes. They can be a million different things. So it's just a moment in time that we're capturing with our spirals. So thank you for sharing. Did Larry or Medell, who's been in my class since the beginning of quarantine, want to say anything about that experience? You have to unmute.
I've really enjoyed it. It's been a centering experience for me, and especially comparing week after week, just the spirals. It's just been seeing how they develop, and I've actually kept mine in a book. So I'm this week it's much more smaller than previous weeks. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I wish that I had kept a chronology because I'm not nearly as organized as Model, but I've gotten less worried about the lines touching. You know, I just free up my hand a little bit more each time. And one thing that's changed is my pen doesn't press through the paper nearly as much as it used to.
Mm-hmm. I think the point is there's really no right or wrong way to do this. And that's one of the things I love in my own art making practice, is just to allow what arises and that we follow it. So the next thing I'm going to do is, well, what we're going to be doing is a guided imagery that I'll be taking you on a little visualization. But before I do that, I often like to show some inspirational artwork just to take in for a minute, just to enjoy what you see in these artists' work. So I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. And I'm just inviting you to take really a minute or two just to soak in these beautiful pieces of artwork. Look at the line quality, the emotion, colors. How does it make you feel?
Lauren.
Yes.
Did you choose the Flaming June because of me?
No, not at all. Uh-oh, what?
Do you know that's the most famous Flemish painting that sits in the Museum of Art in Puerto Rico, the original?
Well, you know, Jose, when I pick these in the morning, early this morning, and I love picking them before class. I do it very intuitively. I actually just went online and I thought about what it was that inspired me to share today. And this is what I chose completely by my intuition.
That's amazing. It's like every Puerto Rican has a print, a poster of Flaming June in their house. I have one in my house, like life size, because it's reminds us of our homeland. Because the former governor, who was a philanthropist, bought Flemish artwork before it was even fashionable, and Flaming June has been a sign of the Ponce Art Museum for decades. So this is really cool.
Well, I'm honestly getting chills, and I do hope you'll have me over so that I can see your print.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's amazing.
That's a poster. Sure.
I would like that. So thank you. And so what I want to say is that I often don't do a demonstration, but what I like to do is just offer you some words to maybe inspire you for after our visualization that you can use in your drawing. So those words today are going to be smooth, wisp, undulate, filigree, and dappled. Okay, I'm going to go back to our regular screen. And now I am going to ask you to just become very comfortable in a spot where you're sitting or however you feel comfortable. Make sure you feel your body sitting on the chair or the couch or wherever you are. You might want a blanket. I see models all cozy, and that's wonderful. So however you're comfortable. And this will just take a few moments, and there's no right or wrong way to do this. I just invite you to enjoy yourself and see what wants to arise. I'm going to have a sip of water. You also can close your eyes. You can look away from the screen, whatever you'd like. So close your eyes and begin to focus your attention on your breath. Watching the air move in and out of your nostrils. Give yourself the suggestion that with each exhalation, your body becomes more and more relaxed. Now imagine that you are moving through time and space to a place that is a sanctuary for you. The sanctuary is safe, simple, and beautiful. It may be located in nature, in the hills, or near the sea. It may be in your room, at home, or any place of your choosing where you feel safe and secure. Go there now and experience the colors, textures, smells, sounds, tastes, and how your body feels in this place. You now have several minutes of time to relax and enjoy your sanctuary. Now, it is time to return here, bringing with you a sense of safety and security that you have experienced in your sanctuary. When you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes and go ahead and use your art supplies to create whatever experience you want. Maybe it's abstract. Maybe it's just one moment in time. Maybe it's drawing with writing. Maybe you don't know yet and you're just going to find out. So whatever it is, just enjoy the experience. I'm going to give you about, I'd say 15 minutes to draw. Okay. Okay. I like to usually play some music, so I'm going to give that a go. But I also know that if people have questions for Jose, you can just go ahead, I think, and ask them over the music. And let's just see here. If you do not want to hear the music, you can always just mute it. I want to make sure I do not blast anybody's ears. Come on. Where am I going? Why isn't it working? Okay.
I can name that tune in 2 notes.
I want to see your hands playing.
I'm drawing.
See, isn't that wonderful? You can draw to the music. How does the music make you feel? What colors do you see? Right? What your sanctuary may be the music. So remember to relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, unclench your hands. You might even want to just give your body a little bit of a gentle rock or some kind of motion. You have about another 5 minutes. Take your time. There's no rush. It may also be that if you feel like you're finished, you could maybe explore a different aspect of your visualization. You might want to remember some of the words like dappled or filigree, smooth, wisp. How can you use your art tools to convey some maybe different types of mark making that you wouldn't normally do? Can you surprise yourself? I know I'm always seeing my same old self. Can I make a move that might surprise me? We don't have to make beautiful artwork. This is actually, I sometimes think, a jump off place for a lot of other things that I might explore later on. So give yourself some freedom. You have another 2 minutes. Oh, do you hear that? Let's see. How am I going to do this? Okay. Ah, right in the middle. Sorry. I don't know about you, but it just feels like time goes away and you can just be in this other world. So I hope that that was as enjoyable for you as it was for me. So I know we're on live stream, so we can't see everybody's artwork, but I think Eileen was saying that people could send their pictures in if they wanted to share them, which would be really lovely. And it would be lovely because it really creates community of us all being together in this moment, which is something I really try to create in the class. That's really one of the most important things, actually, especially through the pandemic, that we've created this like lovely container with each other. So it would be nice to have that ripple out today in this drawing experience. So I invite you to either share your experience. You don't have to show your picture, or just share your picture, or tell about it, whatever it is that would service you, because it's really for you. This experience is for you. It's so if there's something here that would support you in being witnessed and sharing, it would be wonderful to throw that into the soup. So I'm just going to invite anyone who'd like to unmute and to take a moment to share with us your experience. Larry.
I always want to share. I'm so glad you played Reverie, because whenever I say Debussy, what I specifically mean is I want to hear Reverie. So that was wonderful. The magic place that I go to when I'm trying to find a safe place, or you described that in the visualization, it's a hybrid of the playhouse I'm in now, which is like a cabin, and a cabin I spent my childhood summers in the mountains in Japan. And my dad always brought his cello, and he always played the Bach cello suites. And this is a visualization of the cello lines for the prelude to the first cello suite. And that's what the motions of the lines are about. It's this feeling I have of musical lines flowing. And I hear it in my head all the time. It's a memory of my father.
Thank you, Larry. Can you do me a favor and just move it a little bit over, because we didn't get to see the full, there you go. There you go. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Yes, Mado.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Larry, for sharing. This past year, like one of the main themes for me that I found through the year was light. And today that came up again. I don't know if you can see it at this moment, but I have, so for me, usually when I imagine sanctuary, I think of the trees and of the ocean. And when I sit still at the ocean and I just listen. But today, these majestic cathedrals just came up for me again and again. So I ended up combining it almost as all as a cathedral. The light shining through the stained glass window, candles, the word, so the forest and the ocean. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love the way the flame embraced the sanctuary. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to share? Oh, great. Carolyn.
This was a sanctuary to be. Not yet seen and felt and experienced in all the seasons. Our new home, a return to home, yet a new landscape, new community, new property, new ecosystem to explore and observe and listen and smell and play. What secrets do you hold from the past? What secrets will you hold for me? Will you hold my tears, my big belly laughter, my joy, my rage and fears, as well as my silence? I patiently wait for the days of watching you bloom and transform into a dense forest outside my windows.
Thank you.
Can we see that again, please? Thank you.
You used your spiral?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I just went over my spiral.
It's great. Thank you. Marva, would you like to share? You need to unmute. You have to unmute. That's something that happens a lot in my class, where I'm trying to figure out how to mute and unmute. You got to unmute. Yes.
Okay, so I took a class with Jim Bruce and we did the sketchbook. And of course, I was trying to draw on that, and then I messed it up, but then it looked sort of interesting. But so I was practicing what I learned in his class.
Oh, wonderful.
And it's a frame with the person inside of it that's trying to live inside the frame, but also wanting to explore the outside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see a different medium.
I love the colors.
Yes.
Yeah, the emanation of the light. So who else would like to share? Anyone else? Jose, how was that experience for you? Would you like to say what it was like?
Yes, my drawings are stick figures compared to your masterpieces, but I literally went back to a place I love to go, which is very far away from here, and it's on an Asian city where I have a favorite place, and I actually could spend hours in this balcony overlooking the city and nature, especially when there is a massive rainstorm and you have the sound of the rain, you have the scent of the vegetation, that ionized air when it rains. And I drew myself at the little balcony looking at this place where there's a fountain at the distance and there's all sorts of trees and the rain is falling and the sun barely comes out of the clouds. So I'm going to put it up for 1 second and that's it.
But before you do that, I want you to know that you are in the presence of people who are not here to judge you.
I know.
Really. Yeah, you're in the presence really of people who just are excited and want to support you to allow yourself to play.
So, and the other thing is, I'm in my office. I only had a roller pen and paper. So anyway, so this is me at my favorite spot overlooking with the storm and the sun barely coming out, and you can smell that massive rainstorm. I am hiding that in my lockbox here.
That's very evocative. I love it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Very literal. It's like you said, transport yourself. I actually went there because I would love to be there right now.
Well, I hope you don't lock that.
No.
I actually hope you don't have to show it to anybody, but I hope you get to that place. And part of getting there is actually allowing yourself to express it creatively.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait for things to reopen. So I can greet all of you and then I can go on vacation to this place.
Yeah, and I can't wait to teach in person. I really can't wait. And I'll just show really quickly, I mean, also like no judgment, but I started to draw this like open heart, happy center. And then I think, Jose, you ended up in there. And then I started to make like greenery, and then you had wings. I think it's you, like, and then I'm kind of over here in the sun, like, and just the thing I think I'm just feeling like my sanctuary is my art making, and my sanctuary is sharing my passion with other people, because it gives people a chance to have freedom. And that's really important. So I just thank the Art Center for giving me this opportunity today to share what I love, and for having a place to do that. And I've been a teacher at the Art Center for over 17 years. And I've worked in our communities with our children and our elders and with everyone. And I'm just very grateful to be here today. So thank you so much.
Thank you for giving us a shelter from our storm. This has been my go-to place in all this time.
Thank you.
I can echo that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Feeling the love. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Lauren. Thank you so much, students. Thank you so much, Jose, and all you folks out there in streaming land. I just want you all to know that you can do this again with Lauren. She'll be teaching her inward spiral class for spring as well. Drop-in slots available if you don't want to go to all the classes, but want to pick and choose which classes you can go to. You can do that. Come and join us in the inward spiral moment.
It's also intergenerational.
And it's intergenerational. Yep. We usually get a few youth in there.
Yeah.
So if you want to do it as a family, come together very much together in this space. And thank you so much for making this a special event, everybody. Hopefully it's the first of many. Again, if you'd like to share your work, if you didn't get a chance to share your work, or because you're out there in streaming land, we can't see your work, go ahead and tag your work in a post if you're in your social at using the hashtag @Richmond Art Center, and we'll be able to see your work. Or you can email your work if you'd like to, and we can post it for you. Email admin@therac.com. And join us for spring classes if you can. We have lots of wonderful classes. Lauren's got a class. You're going to see all these students in class. Very excited to see you all in the interwebs and hopefully in the Zoom. And yeah, take a bow. Thank you, everybody.